The balance of power has officially shifted in West Texas. And if you thought Season 1 of Landman was brutal, this new trailer makes it clear we were only seeing the calm before the storm. Because in Season 2, Episode 1, the rules are gone, the pressure is unbearable, and Demi Moore and Sam Elliott aren't just part of the story anymore. They're running it. Section 1. After watching the Landman Season 2 Episode 1 trailer, one thing becomes painfully clear. This season isn't about survival anymore. It's about control. Season 1 introduced us to the ruthless oil world of West Texas, but Season 2 wastes no time reminding us that this land doesn't forgive weakness. The trailer opens with a heavy, almost suffocating tone, and from the very first moments, you can feel that Tommy Norris is standing on ground that's about to collapse beneath him. Everything he tried to hold together last season is now pulling him apart, and the people around him are no longer pretending to play fair. This time, the sharks aren't circling quietly. They're moving in fast, and they're hungry. The biggest shift comes through two names that instantly change the entire game: Cammy Miller and Tommy's father. Demi Moore's Cammy is no longer standing in the shadow of her late husband. She has stepped fully into power, and the trailer makes it clear she has no interest in leading softly. There's a cold confidence in every word she speaks, and you can feel that grief has transformed into something far more dangerous. Focus. She's not asking for loyalty, she's demanding results. The way she carries herself in the trailer sends a message to everyone in West Texas Oil. There is a new boss now, and she is done waiting. Cammy isn't just running MTex Oil, she's reshaping it. And anyone who can't keep up is already expendable. At the same time, the arrival of Sam Elliott's character completely changes Tommy's emotional battlefield. This isn't just another powerful figure entering the oil war. This is Tommy's father, a man who clearly knows this world better than anyone else. The trailer hints at a relationship filled with unresolved tension, unspoken resentment, and a long history that neither of them seems ready to confront. When Tommy calls him Pop, it doesn't feel warm or comforting. It feels heavy, like a last resort. And that's what makes this so unsettling. Tommy isn't reaching out because he wants to. He's reaching out because he has to. And when someone like Tommy, who prides himself on control, is forced to ask for help, you know things are already spiraling. What makes Episode 1 feel especially dangerous is how boxed in Tommy has become. Cammy is pushing from one side with her ruthless leadership and zero tolerance for hesitation. His father looms on the other side, representing experience, judgment, and consequences. And somewhere in the middle is Tommy, trying to hold on to whatever is left of his moral compass, while the entire oil empire demands that he abandon it. The trailer shows him under constant pressure, his silence louder than his words, his expressions carrying the weight of every bad decision he's made and every worse decision he's about to make. This isn't a man in control anymore. This is a man being controlled by forces far bigger than him. The tone of the trailer suggests that Episode 1 won't ease us into the season. It will shove us straight into chaos. There's an underlying sense that something is about to break, and not just emotionally. The oil fields feel volatile, the company feels unstable, and the people at the top feel ready to sacrifice anything to stay there. Every frame hints at escalation. Every line of dialogue feels like a warning. Season 2 isn't asking whether Tommy will cross the line. It's asking how far past it he's willing to go. And with Demi Moore and Sam Elliott now holding the real power, the answer might be darker than anything we've seen before. If this trailer is telling us anything, it's that Episode 1 is the beginning of the end for the old version of Landman. The gloves are off, alliances are fragile, and the people running the show are no longer interested in mercy. This isn't just a new season, it's a takeover. What makes Episode 1 feel even more intense is how quickly the consequences of Season 1 crash back into the story. There's no reset here, no breathing room, no fresh start for Tommy. The trailer makes it obvious that Monty Miller's death didn't end anything. It unlocked something far worse. With Cammy now in full control of MTex Oil, every unresolved issue has been dragged into the light. Legal pressure, internal corruption, and outside enemies are all closing in at the same time, and Tommy is standing right at the center of it. You can sense that the company itself has become a ticking time bomb. The accusations hanging over MTex aren't just rumors anymore. They feel real, heavy, and unavoidable. Embezzlement, fraud, money moving where it shouldn't. This isn't background noise. This is the kind of trouble that destroys people, not just businesses. The trailer frames Cammy as someone who understands this perfectly and simply doesn't care who gets burned in the process. Her leadership style is sharp and unforgiving. She doesn't hesitate, she doesn't second guess, and she certainly doesn't look back. Every moment she's on screen feels deliberate, like she's already 3 steps ahead of everyone else. What's terrifying is that she seems completely comfortable operating in chaos. While others panic, Cammy tightens her grip, and that puts Tommy in an impossible position. He's loyal to the company, tied to its success, but increasingly disturbed by how far things are going. The more Cammy pushes, the more he's forced to confront the truth. Staying silent makes him complicit. At the same time, the trailer reminds us that danger isn't only coming from boardrooms and legal files. The oil fields themselves feel unstable, almost angry. There's a sense that the land is reflecting the people exploiting it. Sirens, smoke, rushed movements, everything hints at disaster waiting to happen. And in classic Taylor Sheridan fashion, these moments aren't just about spectacle. They're about pressure. Physical danger mirrors emotional collapse. When things go wrong in the field, they go wrong fast, and the fallout always lands on Tommy's shoulders. He's the one expected to fix it, to take the blame, to make the impossible decisions that keep everyone else clean. Then there's the shadow of Galino and the cartel ties that never truly disappeared. The trailer subtly suggests that those connections are still very much alive, and possibly more dangerous than before. Old alliances start to feel like threats, and every favor comes with a cost that's about to be collected. This is where the lines blur completely between business and crime, loyalty and fear, survival and betrayal. Tommy knows this world well enough to understand that once you're pulled back in, there's no clean way out. And the more MTex struggles, the more these outside forces tighten their grip. What makes Section 2 of this story so gripping is that it doesn't rely on shock alone. It builds dread. The trailer lets us feel how trapped Tommy is, how every option in front of him leads to loss. If he sides with Cammy, he risks losing himself. If he pushes back, he risks losing everything. And if he hesitates for even a moment, the entire structure could collapse. Episode 1 doesn't just set up conflict, it locks the doors and turns up the heat. This season isn't asking who will win. It's asking who will survive when the system finally turns on itself. What truly raises the tension in Episode 1 is the emotional warfare happening beneath the business chaos. The trailer makes it clear that this season isn't just about oil, money, or power. It's about identity, pride, and the scars people carry into battle. Tommy isn't only fighting external threats anymore, he's fighting himself. You can see it in the way he moves, the way he listens more than he speaks, the way his confidence feels quieter than before. Season 1 showed him as a man who believed he could manage chaos. Season 2 starts by proving that chaos is no longer interested in being managed. The introduction of Tommy's father becomes the emotional core of this episode. Sam Elliott's presence doesn't feel loud or aggressive, but it doesn't need to be. It's heavy. There's an unspoken history between them that hangs in the air, and the trailer hints that whatever went wrong in their past was never truly resolved. This isn't a comforting reunion. It feels more like reopening a wound that never healed. Tommy asking his father for help isn't just a business decision, it's an admission of weakness, something he's clearly spent his entire life avoiding. And the most unsettling part is knowing that his father understands this world better than Tommy ever will. That knowledge gives him power, but it also comes with judgment. At the same time, Cammy's rise continues to cast a long shadow over everything. The trailer frames her as someone who sees emotion as a liability. Where Tommy hesitates, she advances. Where he questions, she decides. Their dynamic feels less like partnership and more like a slow collision. Cammy isn't interested in Tommy's inner conflict. She needs him effective, obedient, and unbreakable. And the more she tightens control, the more isolated Tommy becomes. You can sense that she sees his doubts as a flaw, not a warning. That imbalance is dangerous, especially when the stakes are already sky high. There's also a growing sense that secrets are about to surface, and not everyone is ready for what comes with that. The trailer leans heavily into the idea that the past is catching up with everyone involved. Decisions made quietly in Season 1 are now demanding accountability. And in a world like this, accountability doesn't come gently. It comes with exposure, threats, and consequences that ripple outward. Tommy's position makes him the perfect target, visible enough to blame, loyal enough to exploit, and conflicted enough to break. What makes episode 1 feel so explosive is how these personal battles intersect with the larger collapse. Family tension, corporate corruption, and physical danger all collide at once. There's no separation between work and life anymore. Every choice Tommy makes affects his family, his future, and his safety. The trailer suggests that this episode will push him closer to a breaking point than we've ever seen. Not because he's weak, but because he's human. And in the world of Landman, humanity is often the most expensive mistake you can make. By the time the trailer reaches its final moments, one thing feels unavoidable. Episode 1 is designed to leave us shaken. There's a clear sense that this premiere won't end quietly. Everything about the pacing, the tone, and the lingering shots points toward escalation. The kind that changes people. The kind that redraws the map of power in West Texas Oil. This isn't a slow burn opening meant to ease viewers back in. It feels more like a warning shot, letting us know that the story we thought we understood is about to become far more dangerous. The title of this episode couldn't be more fitting, because Demi Moore's Cammy and Sam Elliott's character truly feel like they're running everything now. One rules through precision and control, the other through experience and reputation. Between them, Tommy is being squeezed from both sides, forced to operate under expectations he never agreed to. The trailer suggests that episode 1 will make this dynamic painfully clear.